have the current stock market update for Supermicro Computer Incorporated, stock ticker SMCI. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comment section so that other traders can find this information more easily on the platform. So what we're looking at here is the hourly time frame. That means that each candle on this price chart represents a 1 hour trading period. And as we can see here, the stock is sort of managing to maintain itself within this series of higher lows. So it's really some higher highs too. But what we're really watching here is this series of higher lows that has been developing ever since the stock posted those major lows coming in at $37.30. So, these new higher lows are marginally higher. It's not a huge difference here. But what we're starting to see is the stock is really kind of flatlining here a bit. And we do, I think, need to take some, pay some attention to some of the other stocks in the market at the moment, because I just released videos for Broadcom and NVIDIA. And I do suggest that people take a look at those stocks as well, because what we're seeing there is, NVIDIA's pushing onward toward new all-time highs there, but they've been very weak price movements. They really haven't been very substantial, kind of underwhelming, to be honest. It's surprising that this isn't more of a story, that NVIDIA, arguably the most important company in the world right now, is moving to all-time highs. So a little bit surprising there. The movement has been, kind of tepid, not very substantial, but we can say here that SMCI is posting higher lows, and that does suggest that this broader uptrend that we're watching here does remain in place. We have not yet broken to the downside. It's looking a bit weak, not very amazing or anything like that, but it is still intact, as we can see. So there's a series of higher lows here, and I'm ready to start moving up my sort of major level of support. Previously, we were looking at 44.10. But I think that this level is probably going to have to be revised at this point to roughly this 45.50 area. We'll write that in on the chart here. So the reason that I'm pointing to this area in particular is that we can see that this was an old price low, sort of a spike low here. This would have occurred during the October 15 trading session. Share prices did come into contact with this region roughly. And then in addition to that, this is also the bottom of this orange zone here. So that means that this is the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement of this most recent trending move higher. So essentially what we're looking at here is this movement. So this is a fairly important Fibonacci support zone. It's also coming into contact with a region of historical support. And then we're also coming into contact here with this major trend line. So that would be this sort of trend line here that's defining these higher lows that have been in place since 37.30. So, as we can see here, this is all sort of coming into contact right around the same area. It's not too far away from these 100-hour and 200-hour exponential moving averages as well. That would be the purple line, 100-hour EMA, and then the blue line, the 200-hour EMA. So we're also getting some moving average action here as well. Not exactly coinciding closely, but not too far away at the moment. So I do feel like this region of support now has really moved up. We really do want to see share prices move upward from here if we're long the stock. We want to see sort of a bounce sort of from this area, and then hopefully, some sort of movement into new highs. So in order for that to occur, we would need to see share prices break above $50.60. Of course, that's a major psychological figure as well. So I do think that if the market sees Supermicro Computer trading above that $50 mark, that's when sentiment can start to change. It becomes more, easier for most investors to believe perhaps that, a bottom is now in place at 37.30, and maybe the stock can start building in the upward direction. Of course, we do still have event risks here. That Hindenburg report is still out there in the ether. Some people are still believing what they were hearing in that report. And then in addition to that, we have this Department of Justice investigation that could go on for a while. I mean, we really haven't heard many significant developments with that. that is something that could start to reverse share prices again. But I think that we would probably need to hear some blockbuster news from that in order to start and in order to see share prices start to move lower. So as this currently stands, I mean, this might seem a bit boring at the moment, but for the most part, the stock is maintaining itself here. I have not yet, seen what I believe to be a major break to the downside. And then in addition to that, I think that we can also be moving upward this some major support zone from 44.10 to roughly 45.50. I mean, if the stock is able to sort of bounce off of 45.50, I do still think that we have a positive outlook in mind. So just to close out the video here, I will quickly look at the indicator reading on the hourly time frame because this is an important indicator reading. And as we can see here, the majority of the momentum here is really focused in the upward direction. There's not much to be found to the downside. I would really just be focusing on this possibly, but that's it's a more drastic slope, which means that it's more difficult to maintain this type of downward price action momentum reading, and it's also shorter term in nature. So the longer term trend here is suggesting that positive momentum is in place. It's not a perfect reading because we do have some negative influences here as well. But as long as we're able to sort of start to move a bit higher, possibly break out of this sideways trading range that we're sort of involved in at the moment, I do think that this indicator reading can break to the top side and then sort of invalidate that area. So, this is what I would be looking for in the indicator reading. We would want to see share prices break above this prior downtrend. So, just to close out the video here and quickly summarize, the major support zone has now moved up to 45.50 from 44.10. That is a positive signal, but it does also suggest that it might be a bit easier to fall through there. So this is something that we will need to watch. And then I think what we're really looking for at this point is for share prices to sort of convincingly break through that $50 psychological level. I do think if that occurs, I think that the market starts to warm up to this stock a little bit more than it has previously, and then possibly start to believe that some of those prior risks are in the past, in the rearview mirror. So here's the current market update for Super Microcomputer, stock ticker SMCI. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market, lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership, and start trading stocks with the pros.